cocktail shaken. Cocktails on the fly. I'm your flighty hostess, Alberta Straub. Hi, welcome to Cocktails on the Fly. I'm your flighty hostess, Alberta Straub, and today I'm going to tell you how to make a classic gin drink called the Bijou, which I just found out means kiss in Portuguese. And I would like to say that this drink is so good, it reminds me of a kiss, because sometimes I dream about it at night when I haven't had one. That doesn't mean I'm an alcoholic, okay? It just means that I like this drink a lot. Anyway, it's a great classic drink, but I'm going to show you how to make it 3 different ways, because sometimes I like to add a little pizzazz, a little flighty to the cocktail. So we have, in this glass, I'm going to be making the classic Bijou. And then this glass is going to be the flighty Bijou. And then this glass is what I call the cuckoo Bijou. So what we're going to do, the Bijou, the classic Bijou, is equal parts fine gin. And I'm going to use this fabulous 209 gin made in San Francisco, California, which is my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but that's where I currently reside, San Francisco. My hometown is Petaluma, but that's another story. Anywho, so equal parts gin, chartreuse, and dry vermouth. So the variation is with the flighty Bijou, we're going to put in a little, we're going to shake it up with a little cucumber and Thai basil, which adds a nice little twist to the beverage. And then the cuckoo Bijou has a fabulous infused lillet that I made. An infused lillet, it's really simple. A couple of days before, if you're having a party, you're serving this for a party, or you're serving it to yourself a few nights before you're ready to serve, you get a bottle of lillet and you get a sealed container and you just add some herbs and maybe some spices, whatever. It's really easy to do. There's no right way to do it. I like to put cucumber. I like to put some lemon peel. I like to put a little coriander, some juniper berries, some Thai basil, perhaps cardamom. But any kind of combination, anything you want to try. The only thing that you need to worry about is that you don't want to leave things that with fresh ingredients sitting in the maceration too long. So for example, I have these cucumbers. I want to keep testing it. 2 days is normally long enough for the infusion. You just let it sit out and infuse, and then you want to put it in the refrigerator and put it away because you don't want it to go bad. The lillet does need to be chilled. But you know, and just if you have something fresh, such as the basil, if I put that in there, you need to just check on it because it can start to get kind of a spoiled taste. So just keep testing it, and you take out the fresh ingredients and you can let the dried ingredients go a little longer, almost as long as you want. And dried ingredients actually add, I always thought fresh ingredients were better for a maceration or an infusion, but dried ingredients actually add a more dynamic flavor. So here we are, the Bijous. So first of all, open the bottle. Surprised I had trouble with that, aren't you? So we want an ounce in each. Here we go. And actually the cuckoo Bijou, I'm going to kick up the gin. I'm going to put 1.5 ounces of gin in there because the lillet has a little bit of a sweeter flavor than the dry vermouth. So here we go. We got our gin. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to you. I love you. See you later. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to use dry vermouth. Cinzano makes a lovely dry vermouth. So with the dry vermouth in there, here we go. It's always good to sing or make funny sounds. People wonder what you're up to. There we go. And then it's time for the chartreuse. Chartreuse is a fabulous herbal liqueur. It's the second oldest liqueur that's made. Benedictine is the oldest, but chartreuse is the second oldest. The color is actually named after the liqueur. Look at that fabulous color. Isn't it amazing? I just love this stuff. It's an herbal liqueur. It's got 150 botanicals in it. It is so fantastic and dynamic and crazy, interesting flavor. I just love it. It's made by Carthusian monks. Apparently only 4 monks know the secret recipe. And I don't see how many more could figure it out, but it's amazing. I love it. It's great. And then we're going to add the lillet. Here's my lillet infusion that I made. It's been sitting for a couple of days ready, and I have a little container of it. So in the cuckoo Bijou, I added a little bit more gin. So that's going to be 1.5 ounces of gin, and then 1/2 ounce of chartreuse. Turn down the chartreuse a little bit, and then I'm going to add about 1/2 ounce, a little teeny bit more, like 3/4 ounce of the lillet. I call it good day lillet because when I drink the lillet, it's always a good day when you have lillet. Don't you agree? Okay, so the regular Bijou just has orange bitters. Fee Brothers makes a great orange bitters. Gary Regan made a lovely orange bitters recently that he just came out with. This is a bottle of blood orange bitters that we just tried. And so we add the bitters, there we go. And so the regular Bijou, this, add some twists of orange and some lemon. We're gonna put that in everything. And then the Flighty Bijou is going to have some Thai basil. Use Thai basil because regular basil has a little bit too much of a pungent flavor. It kind of overpowers the drink. The Thai basil has a more delicate flavor and it's really nice. And then we're gonna throw that in here as well. Now, when you're mixing a cocktail, if you're just sitting at home and you're mixing a cocktail for yourself, it's actually what you would like to do, the best way to do it is actually you should add the ice first to the mixing glass and then season the ice with the bitters and then add the spirits and then stir. I'm not doing that since I'm making 3 drinks together today, and that's just because I don't want the ice to melt. Now, another important element of making a classic cocktail or just a simple cocktail, which to me is a drink that's served up in a cocktail glass and is composed primarily of spirits, perhaps a modifier or two. You can sometimes with citrus, perhaps like a sidecar or something like that. But something that's primarily spirits as a cocktail is having nice big ice cubes in which to chill your drink. You don't want those kind of ice cubes that come out of like a machine that are all crushed and slushy, because what does this water do? It dilutes your cocktail. With these nice big ice cubes, you have little dilution, but your drink gets cold very quickly, and you have a nice velvety tasting cocktail. It's really, you may not think it's very important, but I'm telling you, you do yourself at home, you make a comparison, and you will see the difference that it makes to take the extra time to have a nice big ice in your cocktail. It's really amazing. I am a true believer in this. This is what they used to do in the olden days, the olden times, before, just directly after Prohibition. They have the big ice blocks and then they'd break them up and then they'd either shave the ice or have cracked ice. And that's the way to make a real cocktail. And so you can get these bigger ice trays at a couple of stores, find cooking stores around town, and it is worth it to make those in your refrigerator if you want to enjoy a really fine, well-made cocktail after work or whenever when you're serving your guests. So I'm going to stir the first, the classic Bijou. So you're just going to try to get it going around in a circle. You don't have to do as much stirring when you have these big ice cubes because the drink is just getting colder much faster. And then if you happen to have a mixing tin handy or a Hawthorne strainer or a julep strainer, I'm just going to give us a little, just gently, and then pour it into my glass. You have glasses, cocktail glasses already chilling, getting nice and cold, getting ready for your drink. There we go, fabulous. That is the classic Bijou. Give it a little garnish here, there we go. And then here's the Flighty Bijou. Give it a shake. The goal is you don't want to shake it too much because you don't want your alcohol getting all bubbly, but you do want to break up the cucumber and the basil leaves that you have in there. So kind of a nice shake. You can see the ice forming on the outside of the mixing tin, and that shows you that your drink is ready. So let's toss this out. Garnish with a cucumber round and one of these lovely Thai basil leaves. You don't want to fill your glass all the way up. That's nice sometimes, but you can't serve that drink to a guest or to yourself. I mean, can I lift this to my, well, I could probably lift it to my lips without spilling if it was filled to the top, but it's just as nicer. And plus a cocktail, something up in a cocktail glass, this trend towards this new trend towards big, huge glasses, that's not right. The cocktail only has a certain life being cold. It should only be 3 or at maximum 4 ounces when you're serving that martini or something like this Manhattan up in a cocktail glass. So this is the perfect size cocktail, even smaller sometimes. This is the way it should be. And then the final one, the Cuckoo Bijou. We're Now we're going to give this a little bit more of a shake. Okay, create a seal. And then pour out my glass. And then garnish. Look around, see, did you forget anything else? Hopefully no. Hopefully your guests weren't watching. Or if they were, just blow it off, just laugh it off. Ha ha ha. Wait till you see what I did to your main course. Okay, there we go. Classic Bijou, Flighty Bijou, and Cuckoo Bijou. Fabulous, classic, delicious, cold gin drinks. Enjoy. Cheers. I'm gonna have the classic. Who wants the Flighty? In Flighty announcements, the Bijou. In a mixing tin, add large cubes of ice. Season ice with orange bitters. Add 1 ounce each of gin, dry vermouth, and chartreuse. Add zest of orange and lemon. Stir with bar spoon. Pour into a chilled cocktail glass. Garnish with orange zest and enjoy. It's delicious. Remember, you can vary with cucumber and Thai basil or the Good Day Lillet. Cocktail shaken.